What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy Dr. J. Phoenix Singh coming at you to be able to answer a valued viewer's question. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dr. Singh, your head looks amazing and incredibly shiny. Thanks. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today I'm going to be answering a question from Marco. I want to make sure that I got this out to Marco quickly because literally tomorrow is going to be his first interview for postdoctoral fellowship. Now this is a comment that Marco left on one of our most popular videos on the channel, which is called Top 10 Postdoc Interview Questions and How to Answer Them Well. So if it's something where you're in the market to be able to do a postdoctoral fellowship, which do you really need one? There's actually a video on the channel to be able to talk to you about that. And what are the benefits and the drawbacks of doing them? There's another video on that as well. So if it's something where you're interested in doing a postdoc, be sure to subscribe to the channel and be sure to like this video as well. It helps the channel out a ton. And regardless of whether you love the video or you just hate me, be sure to be able to put that down in the comments below. Most of the time, you guys don't mind. So I appreciate that very much. Helps the YouTube algorithm out a ton. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here's Marco's question. Marco says, hi, I'm about to have my first interview, Friday actually, today's Thursday. At one moment in the interview, is it necessary to talk about salary? Great videos, by the way. Thanks, Marco. Okay, so this is a great question, Marco, right? So when it comes to salaries, salaries usually are not something that you're going to end up getting as a graduate student. It may be something where you end up becoming a GA, like a graduate assistant, a TA, teaching assistant, and so forth. It may be something where maybe you've got a fellowship or a scholarship that's helping to be able to actually fund your graduate studies. But again, right now we're talking about the postdocs themselves. And a postdoc basically is a job. It's pretty much your first official job within the field of academia after you get your doctorate. Hence a postdoc, postdoctoral fellowship is what it's short for. So here's the thing. You can also take a look at a video that I posted a couple weeks ago called How Much Do Postdocs Make? It's not a ton of money. You know, it ends up being anywhere usually between, it depends on the field, right? Anywhere between like $40,000 to $60,000. I can tell you that my first year I made $40,000. My second year I made $41,000. The crazy thing is that like, even though it's been forever, like a decade, over a decade since I've done my postdoc, the salaries have not gone up that much, which is actually pretty surprising, especially given how quickly inflation grows, even though recently it's been pretty low, but right now it seems that due to COVID, and at least here in the US, things picking up when it comes to fiscal stimulus, that this, people are terrified that we're going to see all this inflation. So who knows? But at the end of the day, as time passes, what $40,000 was 10 years ago is not what $40,000 is today. So it's funny but not surprising that academic salaries have not really kept up in that regard. So is it appropriate during the interview itself to be able to bring up salary? What I would tell you, Marco, is that unless it is brought up by the interviewers, no. Do not bring up salary, especially don't bring up salary compared to the salaries that maybe, again, this is your first interview, right? Maybe they do give you a salary, like they let you know how much they'll pay you annually, and then you go and you have a second interview, right? It's especially inappropriate to kind of bring it up out of nowhere and say, okay, so this is great. At the very end, they may ask that classic question, Marco, right? So do you have any questions for us? It's very inappropriate to say something along the lines of, so what's my salary? Usually that's information that you would know anyway before you're actually applying. I do not recommend applying to a postdoc before knowing what the salary is in the first place. If you want to negotiate that salary, you need to wait until you actually get offered the position. Remember that you can always say no. At the end of the day, guys, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, especially in academia where the overwhelming preponderance of academics are underpaid. So what I always like to say is that the coin of the realm when it comes to academia is not money, it is what I call perceived respect, not actual respect. It's very difficult to find out how many people actually respect you. But the basic idea is, do you feel respected? And that's kind of silly, like it actually is kind of silly, but it's what you're going to find in an academic career, is that at the end of the day, if you feel respected, that's kind of the most payment that you're going to end up getting more than anything else. It's perceived respect. So again, wait until you're offered the position, Marco, and my fingers are crossed for you. I'll say a prayer for you tonight. that you actually get the position. Be sure to let us know down in the comments below if you get the gig or not. If you end up choosing a different job, then be sure to let us know that too, because we care about you here on the channel, okay? So that's my recommendation, though, is no, do not bring up salary unless it is brought up by the interviewers. If the interviewers bring it up, which I have honestly never heard of even one time in my life, 17 years this year in academia, something like that, which is insane. How the heck did that happen? I got old fast. Yeah, 17 years, guys. Woo! Yeah, so I've never heard it happen one time, but if it did happen, it would not be in the context of, so what do you want your salary to be, or what do you think of the salary? They know what they think of the salary, which is they think that it's fair, and they think that you should take the job if it's offered to you. Right? They are not going to say something like, so do you think the salary is high enough? They're not going to say something like that, all right? Again, if they do bring it up, it'll be more in the context of, so is this a competitive postdoc salary compared to other opportunities that you've had? And if you don't have any other opportunities in these sorts of things, it's better not to say, oh, I don't have any other offers, because it's going to lead them to be implicitly biased to be like, well, if other people don't want this guy, I don't think I want him either. And again, if this is still your first interview, okay, so you don't have anybody to compare to. So in that case, what you should say is something along the lines of, oh yes, absolutely. You know, this is very competitive, and it's something where regardless of how competitive other salaries are, let me tell you that this is my number one choice for a postdoc. That's what you need to say. I'm just telling you right now, that's what you need to say. You don't need to say something like, oh, this is one of my top choices. Come on. Right? If you really want the gig, there's going to be somebody else who's going to swoop in there if you don't do that. Okay, so it's just really important. Like I said, it's not only what you say, but it's how you say it. All right, guys, that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much, Marco, for your question. If you guys have questions to be able to ask, put them down in the comments below. If it's sufficiently high sensitivity, meaning that it'll be of interest to the majority of the channel, I'll try to make you a response video like this one. And if not, I will let you know that I recommend that you book a one-on-one session with me, which you can do via the website below. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.